Greetings. My name is Andrew Jackson, also known as Sekou Molefi Bako. I'm an adjunct instructor here in the Black Studies program at York College and also an alumni of York College. Today we're going to be talking about the 7-day cultural celebration of Kwanzaa, which begins the 26th of December through the 1st of January. Kwanzaa was created in 1966 by Dr. Maulana Karenga as part of a way of uniting the black community during that turbulent period of the 1960s and representing all of the cultures of the African diaspora. Kwanzaa is a cultural celebration, an African American cultural celebration based on African values. Looking at Maulana Karenga's book, Kwanzaa, the Celebration of Family, Community, and Culture, Dr. Karenga talks about the fundamental activities of Kwanzaa being the ingathering of the people, the reverence for the Creator and the creation of planet Earth, commemoration of the past, a recommitment of our highest ideals, and the celebration of the good, all encompassed in the 7 principles of Kwanzaa that you see in the candles here on the table. But there are elements to the table that have significance, and you should know what they are. One would be the Kinara, which holds up the values and principles of Kwanzaa, celebrated in the liberation colors of the African candles, the red, black, and green, sitting on mats, which represent the history and the culture, the heritage of African people. The Bandera, which represents the liberation flag. The corn, representing the children. If for every child in the family, you would have at least 1 ear of corn on the table. If you don't have any children in your immediate family, you would still have corn on the table because we're part of the connected family, the community, the cultural celebration of the people. So you'd have at least 1 ear of corn on the table. You could UMOJA, the unity cup, which is used to pour libation. Libation is paying respect to the ancestors and to the Creator for all things that are good. The libation statement could read as simply as this: for the motherland, the cradle of civilization, for the ancestors and their indomitable spirit, for the elders from whom we can learn much, for our youth who represent the promise for tomorrow, for our people, the original people, for our struggle and in remembrance of those who have struggled on our behalf, for UMOJA, the principle of unity, which should guide us in all that we do, and for the Creator who provides all things, great and small. The fruit and vegetables on the table represent the labor and the hard work that has been conducted throughout the year in your family, in your workplace, in the school, your studies, and in our communities. There are also books on the table which represent knowledge and culture and wisdom. Gift giving is part of Kwanzaa as well, in that we encourage you not to go into debt during this holiday season, but to spend money on things that you buy through the black community, part of that principles of cooperative economics. Handmade items, things that represent something significant to you and to the other person, but don't go into debt to do that. The idea is that you thought enough of somebody to give them a gift, and that they should accept it, that you thought enough of them to receive a gift as well. And then the placard that represents the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, called the Nguzo Saba. The language that's spoken is Kiswahili, which is a universal African language, because Kwanzaa, even though it's an African American cultural celebration, is based on African values from the whole entire continent and not just from one region or one country. When we pour libation, we use water because it's one of the elements of life that you can't survive without. In olden days, everybody used to sip from the unity cup. Now you might pass it around in a sipping gesture, or sprinkle water in the 4 directions representing the north, south, east, and west that we traveled from the continent, or pour it into a plant or on a living thing, because water provides nourishment. So you would not pour water on a concrete floor and a linoleum floor, nothing but a safety hazard there, but pouring in the plant, as it does with you, provides life and nourishment for living. This is a representation of the Kwanzaa table. The 7 candles held up by the Kinara. You would light 1 candle for each day of the harvest season. We always begin with the center candle because Kwanzaa represents the people. The center candle is the black candle. The first principle of Kwanzaa is UMOJA, unity. And I'm going to read the exact wording of the principles so that you are familiar with them and you can digest them to how significant they are. UMOJA, unity. To strive for and maintain unity in the family, the community, the nation, and the race. And we'll use the center candle to light the other candles. Kujichagulia, self-determination, to strive for, to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. Kujichagulia. ULIMA, collective work and responsibility, to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems, and to solve them together. ULIMA. UJAMA, cooperative economics, to build and maintain our stores, shops, and businesses, and the profits from them together as a community. UJAMA. NIA, purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. NIA. Kuumba, creativity, to do always as much as we can, the way we can, in order to leave our community more beautiful and more beneficial than we inherited it. Kuumba. And the final principle of Kwanzaa, IMANI, faith. To believe in all our hearts in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness of our victory and our struggle. 7 principles of Kwanzaa. 1 principle for each day, and as you celebrate the principle of the day, you would always begin by lighting the black candle representing the people, light the candles for the other principles, but then focus on what that principle of the day means to you. And again, Kwanzaa is practiced between the 26th of December and the 1st of January. Kwanzaa specifically begins the 26th of December because Kwanzaa is not a replacement for Christmas. It specifically starts to close out the year in celebration, celebrating the values that can be practiced throughout the year and not just during the 7-day period, but also it ends on the first day of the year so that you begin the new year celebrating the people with family and community and culture and be preparing yourself for the work that comes ahead in the new year. UMOJA, unity. Kujichagulia, self-determination. ULIMA, collective work and responsibility. UJAMA, cooperative economics. NIA, purpose. Kuumba, creativity. And IMANI, faith. We celebrate Kwanzaa as part of the African tradition here in this country, but it takes place during that harvest season where all other cultures are celebrating and coming together. And again, Kwanzaa also represents the ingathering, the bringing together of the family, the community, celebrating Kwanzaa. When we do give gifts for Kwanzaa at the end of the day or at the end of the Karamu feast, at the end of the week celebration, we also encourage giving books to share knowledge, wisdom, culture, and books about our collective culture and history so that people can learn as part of their growing and connect us to books on a regular basis because too many of us don't read enough. We need to have access to knowledge and culture. As Frederick Douglass said, knowledge makes a person unfit for slavery. So celebrate Kwanzaa, celebrate this harvest season, enjoy your family and come together in this ingathering period. Safe travels, happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa. And at the end of the season, we also have a practice of raising our fists and calling out Harambes for let's pull together as a community. 7 Harambes for each of the days of Kwanzaa. Harambe, 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 Harambe. celebrate Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa. Peace and blessings. Safe shop.